Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff we did not have to get to during the course of the show today. I have a very serious story, and it's one that we had talked a little bit about the other day, and I'm not sure if I'm going to preempt it or not, because I have another story I want to tell first that is deeply traumatic and embarrassing.
Oh.
Deeply.
Like from your personal life?
Yes, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to transition it well to that other one. We might just cut to yours, Betty.
No, that's not fair. You're going to go something that's really serious and sad and then go to mine?
No. I've cut my serious and sad story.
Oh, yes, I agree. Let's do that.
Okay, or if you want to do the serious and sad.
No, I want to do what's embarrassing for you.
Okay. I've debated over whether or not telling this story because I have to share enough graphically to make it funny, but then I don't know how much is too much, TMI sharing.
How about we tell you?
Good idea.
Okay.
You guys know that I am bathroom shy.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
That's a great way
to
start.
Even here, he's bathroom shy.
Well, because you monitor things. Like, you're like, wow, you were gone for a while. Did someone have to poop? Like, oh, Lord, Betty.
And then you just say, yes, it's like super normal.
But I don't like it. No, it's not. It's horrible. And so, like, I will go, if I ever have to have an emergency at work, I go upstairs to the bathrooms upstairs.
There are people who work up there.
Don't care about them. And I'm up earlier than everybody. Gavin has no fear of this at all. This is going to be a lot of potty talk because Gavin walks in. He walks straight to the bathroom before anything else when he gets in every day.
You guys start your day off right.
Yeah, I guess.
A little light,
So this is nothing for him. So Gavin won't appreciate this at all.
No, I'm excited.
So again, I'm very bathroom shy. I don't like if I am, for example, our bathroom at my house has a shower in it there, and then it's got a separate bathroom closet, okay? If my wife is ever showering and I have to use the restroom, I will not use that bathroom. I will use one.
That's just considerate.
Yeah, that's
Thank
normal.
you. Okay, that's normal? Okay, great. So anyway, we're on the same page up to this point.
That's too comfortable if you are doing that.
Okay, so we go to Disney a few weeks ago. All right.
It's an old story.
No, it's not an old. Well, yeah, it happened. Because I just now decided to tell it.
It's not the happiest place in the world anymore. Let me tell you that.
It's almost a word that rhymes with happy. And so we go out to dinner. Something gets me. My stomach is sick.
Brother.
I'm like the instant kind of
Tender
sick.
tummy.
Yeah.
I got you, bud.
I know I got a monorail ride back and the monorail has been running slowly and waiting and like in 20 or 30 minutes to get around to where we would have to go. There's no way to get off this monorail ride. Like you got no options at this point. And so I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, my stomach is sick. You know how bad this is. If I'm telling you I need to go use the restroom, you know this is bad because I hide it from her too. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. I get it. I know it's insane. So I'm like, I got to use the restroom. So then I look around to see who's going to notice me and how long I'm in there, and are they going to notice me when I walk back out? I know, but there's a guard there. And so I'm like, I hope that guy gets like replaced. Between hope his shift ends before I come back out because I'm gonna be in there for a hot second. So I make my way in there, and when you have to go really bad publicly, you are praying it's an empty bathroom.
Yes.
No such luck.
Oh no!
I walk in, and it was like everybody at Disney was in this bathroom. It was horrible.
Young children are there.
It's funny you say that. Because that is the linchpin of this story, Rod. And you don't even know this story.
Did you shove a kid out of the way?
No, it's far worse than that.
Under the stall?
Oh.
No, maybe not that bad. So
Okay.
So anyway, it's packed. There's one stall, like a beacon. I rush to that thing, and I run past the little kid and his dad, and I guess they had a little brother that they're waiting on or whatever.
No.
Yeah, okay, so again,
have mercy, Wally.
I'm starting to sweat. Okay, so you start doing the things you do, and I'm curious if because my daughter, my daughter knows this story. I told my daughter this story because I knew she could commiserate because she knows the pain of this.
She has a tender tummy too.
Yeah, and she knows what you do, the strategy. You wait till there's a flush and then a sink that comes on when it's going to be a loud one.
Oh, I see.
And you kind of go, and then when that stops, you kind of hold back.
Okay, that's some TMI.
Yeah, okay,
we're
getting there.
What you do.
Yeah, okay, so Gavin knows. So you're waiting, you're trying to time for lack of a better word, the explosions with different sound effects. And I did not have that luxury, okay?
Okay.
I got really sick. I really tried to time things out. And there became a point at which my soul left its body and was hovering above the stall watching all this happen. I've got my head down just in sheer embarrassment.
No, because everybody can hear it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh no,
People
Wally.
outside there, and then so like the guy next to me leaves. I'm like, okay, well at least that's bet. And then I see another pair of shoes. Like, no,
Wally, that's
save
terrible.
yourself, sir.
Oh,
Save
that's
yourself.
Bad. Oh, that's bad.
So it's bad. Okay, so everything to this point is just horrible. I've given up. Like I'm just. It cannot get worse than this.
Disney immediately.
Yes, there is no way. I'm going to walk out, make no eye contact with anybody. We're going to get on that monorail and pretend this never happened.
You're hearing over the intercom with the man in the blue shirt. Please come here.
The man with the nice shoes, because that's all we can see.
We need a mugshot.
Yeah.
They're like, do not allow this man inside the gate.
So
wanted.
Here's where it gets worse. So
why?
As I'm going, and I'm not able to stop. It's just what it is. Again, I know this is a lot.
We've all been here.
Yes,
okay. I don't want any people. Maybe not Betty. She's a woman.
Yeah.
But like every guy has been here. Let's be honest.
Up till this point, the child at the end has been silent.
They've been there the whole time?
Oh, yeah, they've been there the whole time.
Oh,
he hasn't been too loud.
gosh.
I've heard him talking to his dad a little bit and stuff like that. But then this little angel,
Little Timmy over there.
little Timmy decides to pipe up and go, boy, that's a lot of diarrhea in there.
Said that?
He
He said that. And it was deathly quiet.
It was deadly quiet, and he literally says, boy, that's a lot of diarrhea in there, Dad. And I am trying so hard not to laugh, and his dad's like, son, we don't want to talk about this.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
You know, sometimes people's tummies get sick.
No.
And I'm like, stop talking! Just please, for the love, take Timmy out of this room because my eyes are crying right now.
So bad.
I'm reliving such a horrible, traumatic experience.
So bad.
I'm like, just leave. So then I have to, like, I'm good now, but like I have to literally wait till Timmy and his dad and
you
the other
can't-
kid
Yeah, you can't.
vacate,
Yeah.
and I wait till everyone else leaves.
Yeah.
And then I finally go and I wash my hands and I leave.
Like
and
walk of shame after that.
walk
What did
of
Marty
shame.
say?
Well, Marty was waiting outside the bathroom
Marty's
for
just
standing there.
That makes it more obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me and the guy who did not have
should've
his
just
shift
left.
change.
You know what's tough is that like at the end of every show, so I walk over behind Wally and I press a button
Yep.
that sends a voicemail. People who call late or during other parts of the show to voicemail. And I saw a piece of paper over there.
Oh.
And I saw that word diarrhea on a little piece of paper. Just caught it. Just was like something
yeah.
I'm like, I'm curious what that's all about.
Yeah.
Now
Just
you know.
Just said Aftercast diarrhea.
Wow.
And I was like, I wonder what that's gonna.
Well,
Let me tell you a story. Now I was.
Yes!
Please make this about you.
I was the kid. Okay, in this situation.
okay.
You're the
So
enemy.
in the church that I grew up in, it was a lot of older adults, and my mom. I was around 4 at the time. My mom took me to the bathroom. Okay, and I guess an older lady had come in, okay, and she got into the stall beside us, and of course it's deathly quiet.
Yeah.
And she let one go.
They should
Okay.
They should always have music in bathrooms. Loud music. You should not be able to talk. It should be death metal.
Fans on, metal playing.
Anyways, she let one go, and she said that I
Soundproofing.
just started laughing. Okay, and what's
it's funny to
but
kids.
this is church.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we're about to have a service, and my mom, she's like, she knew it was us. And, like, she was embarrassed
Yeah.
because of me.
Yeah.
But if I were that old lady, I would have
Yeah.
been the one that was embarrassed.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
100%.
You know? But anyways.
Because you're just like, it's at the end of the day, like it's a pretty vulnerable situation
Yeah,
to
it's
be
a
in
vulnerable
because it's like you've lost control.
I gotta tell you though, like I'm mad at God on this one.
Uh-huh.
Why?
God created everything.
Yeah, we
okay,
didn't have to do this.
Yeah, like you could have created beings that don't have to eject anything from their bodies.
Or
like
that
you
had
could, like
complete control.
yeah, like you made everything. So you somewhere, sir, find this funny. And you know that kids would find it funny and that adults would be making jokes about it years later. Or this is a product of the fall. Did Adam, like before the fall, was there ever any issues like this? Maybe not. The sin comes in and all of a sudden we're all dealing with it.
I gotta say, this was not, when I woke up on this fine Monday morning, I didn't say to myself, you know what is going to be on my bingo card today? Did Adam let it go before the fall?
Yeah.
Did
And
Adam let it go?
that's why people like the Aftercast, apparently.
Ooh.
So I apologize.
I'll say this just so you're not the, again, kind of like not, it's like might as well all be in, like, have a bathroom story. And I think I've shared this one before, but had a similar situation in college where you're like, yeah, like, you know, it was right before class. I'm like, I can't, I got it's got to happen now. And it was in one of the buildings at school where the auditorium was. And I'm rushing down there and I'm super sure that I've gotten into this like bathroom and I'm safe. There's nobody in there. Cool. This is super fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the door opens. You're like, bummer. And then I hear a woman's voice
Oh,
as she comes
You
into
went
the
to the
bathroom. And so
No!
you're sitting there and you're like,
Gavin!
oh no. I was like, how did I end up in it's like, how did I end up in the women's
Okay,
bathroom?
that might be worse.
That's where you have to misdoubt
sure.
fire it. Like, oh, sorry.
So just like finish my
Gavin,
action,
that's bad.
and then I was like, I'm not going to this class today.
No.
Like, if it was a test or something, maybe I would have, took on the embarrassment and the shame. But it was just a normal one, and I was like, no, like
That's
I'm
why-
not. Maybe I'll go in late, or I'm just gonna go back
that's so
home. So I
bad.
waited until it's like 10:57 when I go in. I'm like, I'll wait till 11:15.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit here
Yeah.
for a while.
Till my legs go numb. Like, there's no reason.
Oh,
There's
that's
another reason
bad.
why you should not have gender neutral
Well,
bathrooms.
No, it wasn't a gender neutral one.
Yeah, you're just
Oh,
winning
you're
it.
right. But it was tough because I walked out and I was like, how? And then I looked back on it, and it was one of those ones where the women's restroom, it was like going into a hallway. The women's sign was right here to the left or the right of the doorway. Now it's great. But right above the hallway, which was where the bathroom then turned into the left, was the men's bathroom sign, but it had an arrow that said pointing. Go further. But I
Yeah.
saw it and I'm like, boom, that's mine.
Yeah, because when you're in a desperate
Darted
situation, too, at Disney, I know we're talking a lot about bathroom, but at Disney the other day, when we were there, we were in Tomorrowland, where like it's next to Snow White, or not Snow White,
That poor
Belle.
kid. Now he has a Disney story.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that kid's-
infamy.
Yeah, that kid's telling the best story at preschool like that he's ever had.
When you pass on,
yeah.
that's too bad they don't know who you are.
I know. I wish you could find that
Man, if
person.
like even if they knew who you were and
Yeah.
they would have stopped you in the middle,
Yeah.
like before, as you're trying to run in there,
Yeah.
be like, "Are you Wally?" Be like, "No, I am not."
Nope. I hate that guy. I so I almost walked into the wrong bathroom though at Disney because they had like normally you have the picture. It's really easy, but this one they were being cute where like different language like French I think because it was
Oh.
Belle's castle thing.
Oh.
So it said like dames and something else, but I thought dames like a dame, or whatever, but it must be pronounced differently or something, and it was for the guys.
Dummy.
And so I'm like,
Oh.
I don't want to do that one, and so I started heading the other one, and thank the Lord I looked on the wall to the right, and there was a picture. I'm like, oh, well, that's confusing as all get out.
They should have that at least in English. I
Yeah.
hate when I go to Mexican restaurants and they do the same thing. Although I'm learning Spanish. So
Yeah,
now
how's it
should
working
be
out?
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Dónde está?
Yeah, well, you know where you are, so that's good.
Anyway.
Okay. Well,
was enlightening.
Let's go
Thank
ahead.
you for being vulnerable.
Thank you. I felt like sharing. That was 14 minutes of bathroom talk.
Good times.
I'm sure, like, some people checked out, and this is a day I hope bosses didn't check in. They're like, hey, we're reevaluating the Aftercast. We want to do some big things. Maybe advertise a little. Oh, we're not doing that. All right, Betty Rock, what do you got? Because if I could have had closed captioning in there,
you
in that
would?
In the
restroom,
bathroom?
yes, would have been much better for everybody.
You think?
Yeah,
What would
yeah.
it have said?
It would nothing because you'd have to read it, and you couldn't see, you couldn't hear anything.
Oh, I see.
Just
I
like
see, I
parentheses,
see.
bathroom noise.
Yeah, exactly. And it would not have
And we
even
would've-
remotely captured what was going on.
Toot, toot.
That would have been a joy.
Okay, so taking a poll in the room, I put on the captions when I'm watching TV. Wally, do you?
I do not trust people that put on captions when they watch TV. That means you and my daughter.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
So you don't?
Yeah, no. It was funny because we had somebody watch our dogs a while back, and she's a little older, and she turned captions on my Xfinity stuff, and I could not figure out
how to turn it off.
And I was getting really annoyed because it just took up like a quarter of my TV.
Wow.
So
I don't know when it started that I can't watch a TV without
It's my daughter.
the captions.
Same way.
And I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how that got started. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it might have started with Downton Abbey. I could be wrong about that.
Accents and quiet
but it's just
British
like
ladies.
even though they speak English, they do have an accent, and they speak
Blah, blah, blah,
quickly,
blah.
and I couldn't catch everything.
That makes sense.
And so then I would just be too lazy to turn it off when I watch something else.
My favorite thing is Swamp People, the show in Louisiana about alligator hunting. You don't have to turn on the captions. They do it for you because they're like,
so hard
we know
to
you're not going to understand any of this.
Exactly. So it turns out that I'm not alone. A lot of people turn on closed captioning, and maybe you as a potty, maybe you are one of those. But it turns out this is what's so odd is people under 45 years of age are more likely to have captions on than people who are older, which is so interesting because you would think captions were meant for people with a hearing disability or they're just hard of hearing. So you would think an older generation would have it, but that's not the case. And it turns out that people who are younger are turning on closed captioning because they're probably multitasking.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are doing. They're looking on their phones. They're listening to music. They're cleaning. They're folding laundry. They're cleaning up the kitchen, talking to a child. They got a pet or whatever. They can check in and out and still not miss anything.
That's what I don't understand, though, because I thought the same thing, but because again, my daughter does it while she multitasks. I watch TV with my phone in my hand, and I'm constantly on Facebook Marketplace or Amazon or TikTok, and so I'm listening. Then when I hear something that perks my attention, I look up and I watch. I would have thought the opposite, that the captions were there to keep you from being distracted from all the stuff because you're having to read.
And that might be different for you because you're pretty much undiagnosed ADHD, so it might be a little different.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't have to read the full sentence. I don't have to read fully what's under there. I can just catch words, and I could get the gist of what's going on.
I always hated, for me, it's like a reading assignment, like with captions. And because what happens is when they're on there, I can't see anything else but the caption. And then I just hyper focus on reading the caption. And then I read and
you don't see who's speaking.
Yeah, I miss it all. It's like, I love those TikToks where there's my wife reading, and it's like an Eminem fast rap. Me reading, and this is how the cat sounds, because that's literally what goes on in my head.
But it is kind of nice, too, because, I remember watching, I don't think a lot of people do this, but there was a show on Netflix that was in German, which I was like, I don't really care for I don't want to do this.
No.
And then I started watching it, I'm like, the story's really, really good. And so it was really interesting because my natural habit is watching TV, even just a show I love. I still will watch and scroll. You don't have a scrolling option if
it's a different language
to read the show.
Now, I'm trying to think.
Which is like reading a book.
Squid Games.
Yeah,
was in English though, right?
No.
Okay, so
it wasn't.
Right?
I think it was.
It was in Korean.
Oh well, maybe
I think it was dubbed into English.
It was dubbed, but also I think it was captioned as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it was dubbed into English. It was the original is Korean or whatever.
If I ever went to a movie or a show that was all subtitles, I would be out
Wasn't
instantly.
That Jesus?
With the exception of
Passion of the Christ?
Passion of the Christ, because it was in Aramaic and it was all subtitled.
All of it was Aramaic?
Yeah, the whole thing was Aramaic and subtitled. Because I still remember I went to see that movie with a guy on my show. I was working at 99X, and Fred and I went to see the movie. And I was like, oh, good. Fred's going to see the movie. He's not like a faith guy. I'm like, this will be fun. And we get in there, and it's all subtitles. I'm like, oh, good night. I want to leave. I was miserable about that. And he left, unfortunately. He was like, I'm out. This is dumb. And so I did stay through the whole thing, and I found that I got into the rhythm of reading it, and it was fine. But at the end, I was tired. The story's heavy and having to read it all.
Yeah, I can see where that would be.
Even when you know it too, like knowing exactly what happened.
Yeah, you know the
does
ending.
not help you.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Passion of the Christ 2. I know
what
the
are
ending.
They doing?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do that. Are they doing that? I thought I heard that.
I bet it'll be about the
resurrection.
Resurrection, maybe.
If they do it differently, like kind of like how The Chosen is, and they add theoretical things people could be feeling and stuff like that. That's not literally covered in the Bible. Like the death in the crucifixion, you have a lot of depictions of it, and you want to make it true to that. The Chosen does a really good job at taking characters and developing them, because I'll tell you this. When you think about different things in the Bible, there's things you probably don't know happened after his resurrection. I believe the Great Commission was after the resurrection. You can check me on that, because we had it in church this weekend. We were talking about that. And I felt like the pastor had said that Jesus said this to his disciples after the crucifixion in that 40 days when he was back on earth. And I believe that's the case.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, see, because all the time up to that, I've always heard that Great Commission. I just figured Jesus was sitting there with his boys pre-crucifixion saying, hey, here's what we got to do.
Yeah.
And so this is post. And so that is something people, I think, would learn from Passion of the Christ too. Like I didn't know that.
Because I think doesn't the Great Commission kind of go into the ascension too?
Maybe, because because this is where he's telling them, like, look, I'm leaving you. You guys, you got to take the word and the gospel to the ends of the earth. And he's like Judah, something else in Samaria, because he was telling, it was so poignant in what he was saying, though. This is what I loved about Jesus, because one of them was, the example he gave was so they would know to be local, like to people that they love. The other example was regional, to the area in which they live. And Samaria was taking his message to the people you hate. And because the Jews and the Samaritans hated each other. And so I love that when he did this, everything was so time sensitive, because if you don't know the story behind it, the context, him saying take it to Samaria, you go, oh, it's just another place.
Yeah.
But the significance of that was he was saying, you need to go and tell people that you do not like, people that you have hated for years, about me. You are going to be a missionary to these people, and guess what? They deserve salvation as much as you. That would have been such a game changer for them. And you got to imagine, too, these disciples have watched Jesus walk through all this stuff. And even they probably had to been like, Samaria, really? Are you sure about this? And then poof, he's gone. Like, I guess he was right. So anyway, yeah, I guess there could be some stuff we could learn about the Passion of the Christ. Dose. The duo.
Oh, never mind.
Speaking of duo.
We already did.
If I was going to, oh no, not that one. If I was going to have my child's second birthday, I would have it at a place where they sang, happy birthday from all of us to you. Wish it was a birthday. So we party too. Hey, with that, birthdays.
Nice.
Shelly
Belly.
is celebrating a birthday today. She said, my biggest claim to fame is sharing my birthday with the one and only Danny Ray. And that is true, because today is my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Danny. Oh, never mind. I was like, how did they know what his birthday?
Yeah, I guess we've talked about it. She has a question inspired by something she heard on an old Aftercast. Who would win in a fight, Jeremy Camp or Zach Williams?
Tough call. Zach Williams.
Let's see.
Because I think Zach Williams has actually hit a man before. I don't think Jeremy has.
He hit you before. He slammed your
that's right. He pushed my head through a wall.
Yeah.
And he didn't think twice about it. It's like, we doing this? I'm like, all right.
I don't know. There's this oddness to Zach whenever he's around him where, like, you can tell that Jeremy's got strength and that he works out.
Right.
And that might just be...
Jeremy's in shape.
But, like, Zach is big and tall. I think he wears boots that make him taller, too.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, Jeremy Camp grew up in, like, the Christian industry and Christian music. Zach Williams grew up in bars, playing bars and in different countries.
That might come out of him.
Oh, you've stomped somebody out in a bar.
You're probably right.
I think my money's on Zach, too.
Yeah, I think Zach is known the pleasure of a fist hitting a face. Yeah, I think he has. Jeremy, absolutely not.
Yeah, you're right, because what's the line? There's like a line
We'll have to save this and play it for Zach next time he's in. I want Zach to hear this.
What is the thing where it's like you have a plan?
Everybody has a plan till you get punched in the face. It's Mike Tyson.
Jeremy might be a there goes the plan kind of guy. Gets punched in the face. He's like, what do I do?
Although I stand corrected. We have evidence. The thing that almost got me fired here in the fight that we talked about years ago was between Jason Dunn from Hawk Nelson and Jeremy Camp. They got into a physical fight.
Did they really?
We talked about this on the podcast or on the show years ago, okay? This was the thing that started the feud between like his people and me, and his record label girl hated me. We had a 13-minute fight. And she called me the Howard Stern of Christian radio. We did this live on the air. My company, Way FM, wanted to fire me for this. And I'm like, you kidding? This is the best day ever. And she was mad. The manager of Jeremy Camp wanted to come down to the station to fight me, and it was a girl.
Wow.
And she could have beaten me. And it was such a bad thing. And all it was Jason talking about getting into a fight that started off as a play thing like guys do, tussling, and then Jason got a shot in on him, and then that switch flipped in him, and Jason ended up getting an earring ripped out of his ear, and so it got physical, and Jeremy won it. That was it. Like, they had even posted like a video of it at one point in time. So I'm thinking this is fair game. Let's talk about it. His people got so mad about this because it made Jeremy look bad. And like years later, like since then, I don't even understand it to this day. I'm like, Jeremy, what's the big deal? This happens with guys. But it was a different time in Christian music. Everyone had to look perfect and put together, and they thought it looked like a bad look for him. So much so that Jeremy and the record company worked a meeting out for me and him to go to coffee to talk this out. So Jeremy and I, we're sitting at the Starbucks 5 minutes from here in Cool Springs. He's telling me why he's upset about this and why this is bad. And I'm not getting anything he's saying. I literally looked this giant man in the eyes. I said, Jeremy, everything you're saying is making me more and more frustrated by this and understand it less. You are making this worse right now. And so we sat there for the better part of an hour and kind of argued through this and figured it out. And then we came to a meeting and he's great. Like we're great to this day. And I still don't know why that was such a big deal, but it almost cost me my job. And then it was this big ordeal between him and me for a little bit. And fortunately that's all done, now. But it's just the stories of weird altercations I had with artists when I first got here. I used to think there was one or two, and then as people start bringing up more things, I'm like, oh yeah, had one with them. Oh yeah, had one with them. Oh, them too. I really did ruffle a lot of feathers when I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to, but people are less flustered now, which is nice.
It's funny because I feel like you aren't. I feel like the viewpoint of you now is not. Oh, that's the guy that's kind of trying to get this industry shaken up a bit. Yeah. They're like, that's Wally. He's awesome.
I was trying to shake things up when I got here to some degree. I wasn't purposely trying to make people mad, but I didn't like Christian radio, like what I had heard growing up, and so I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to do it like I do now, or like I did regular radio. And I had to find a balance between that and between feeling like I'm selling out, but still doing something that's good for the people that listen and what they would want. Because like we talked about mission drift during the Monday school today. And like, so if people want chicken and I'm giving them pizza, then that's not going to work. But if I can give them chicken flavored pizza, then maybe, and where we stretch it a little bit, but we still keep it in the zone. And so for me, that's been my challenge. I was telling Gavin and Betty today, we talked about something on the air and I went off on this rant that was just a silly rant. And I'm like, years ago, it was about raising hands towards people praying.
Oh, yeah.
And I have my own opinion about that. Like, I'm like, I don't see why that matters, and so I don't do it, even when I'm told to in church. And so, like, I went off on this little half-baked rant about it. And I told them I was so sad, like, no one called to argue with me. Like, back in the day, people would have called for me to be removed from this job. And so now I'm like, is it because we've run those crazy people off? Is it because people go, well, that's just Wally. We get it. We know he does other things that are okay.
20 years of trust with these people.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. Whereas me, I look at it and go, man, am I slipping? Do I need to ratchet this back up again? Which puts fear in the heart of Betty, because Betty hates confrontation.
I'm just tired.
Even in our coaching session last week, our coach, who I've known for 30 years, is like, you're a pansy. You know, you're talking about all this faith stuff. You sound like a complete pansy.
He didn't say that.
You've lost who you are. You're not a man anymore.
Okay, I've got one more birthday that I
sorry.
need to get to.
Yeah.
That's not what you guys heard? Because that's what I heard.
Not at all.
I think that I argue with more people nowadays. Like in the, phone studio. Because I do take more people. And like there's a world where I could send them your way.
Yeah.
But like generally no. Because there's no winning. Because generally, people who call in are not calling in to gain an understanding of our viewpoint. They are there to preach at you.
Yeah.
I've only had a couple people that I'm like, well, and they'll be like, oh, didn't think about it that way. Thank you for explaining it.
I used to get mad if Zach didn't send me people through to fight, because that was part of the show. Like, it was part of the show. We were going to have a disagreement and an altercation about whatever the topic was. And the problem with that is it doesn't work well here. No. And so you're smart to not, because I won't back down from any kind of an argument. But like, it doesn't serve the greater good here. And that's something I've had to learn and kind of grow into and be okay with. Because if you're just arguing, no one, like you said, nobody's mind gets changed. All you do is devolve into something that doesn't look even remotely like Jesus, and that's not what we're about.
No,
and it's probably better.
It is definitely it's tiring in a sense too, just because it's been teaching me conflict. It's not conflict resolution, because nothing gets resolved.
It's conflict survival.
But it's taught me conflict survival, because you just have to still, I believe, get your point across. Not because you're trying to win an argument, but I do want them to understand, or at least to
Gavin's back there, because Gavin hates confrontation. Gavin's like, I hate him too. I don't even know why I come in most days, but I got a wife and kid. I got to come in. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Mark, for calling. I wouldn't even blame you.
I've probably done it once.
Yeah, I wouldn't even blame you.
I'm like, I'm not in charge of content.
Yeah, I wouldn't even blame you for that. Just sidestep and get out. That's fine.
These days.
You mentioned another birthday.
Yes, let's celebrate it.
Betty's already checking out. She's already tired. See, and it energizes me.
Laura wants to wish her 8-year-old son, Caspian.
Yeah, Caspian, let's go.
Prince Caspian.
A happy birthday. Said, I've listened to the Wally Show podcast and Aftercast since before Caspian was born.
Wow.
But recently he keeps requesting that I put it on in the car. He is an incredibly stubborn but smart little boy.
Sounds like me.
Happy birthday, Caspian.
All right. Where's Caspian from? Like you said, Prince Caspian. Is that like a Narnia? Okay.
Yeah, that's the
question.
Second book.
Whatever happened to Miss Beats? She was much better than AI.
That's not true.
I agree, Laura. I miss Miss
recently.
Beats. Miss Beats, she was ahead of her time, I think is what it is. And
it was missed.
She let the haters speak in.
It was missed beats, MISSED, because I used to miss the beat. I would have the hardest time doing the funny songs live. And then it just became about how I train wrecked it. And then all the work I spent trying to make it funny.
I don't remember those. I remember being a big fan of Miss Beats. Miss Beats was one of my favorites.
Me.
Okay, I loved her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, girl, MISS Beats.
If you
Miss Beats.
If you are wondering what happened to missed with an ED Beats, it's Betty Rock killed that bit.
No,
you did.
No, I love her.
I know. No, you killed it. That's why I started using AI.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. You are such a hypocrite.
Why?
Because you want to still do the Name That Cat segment.
Yeah.
Yet every time I do, you're the one over there going, I mean, it could have been this or it could have been that.
Every
or you
once in a while.
No, not every once in a while. Every single time. And then Gavin chimes in with his smart aleck self. So yeah, you know what?
Good
That's it.
self-control.
It's done.
Oh, sure. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow.
If Miss Beats is done, then Name That Cat is done.
Gavin, you want to name some dogs?
I would love to.
Okay,
Go for
perfect.
it.
I'm good on the spot.
I don't care. I'm over it.
Everyone's replaceable.
I will bring back Miss Beats. And
I would
will
love for you to
replay
do
it.
it. No. The thing I got is I realized how bad I am at some of that. And when I hear things that we did like years years ago, I cringe because they're so off. And that's why I like the AI part of it, because I write all the lyrics because I'm proud of the lyrics. Like most of the lyrics I write, I'm happy with because I spent a lot of time to get them funny. And then to have it fail because it was bad execution. That's
rude.
That's where the AI helps you with the execution. I've got the idea
Miss
and the
Beats
execution.
is learning. She's rough around the edges, but she never had her timing right.
No, that's that's Mr. Beats. That's the whole point of it.
But Miss Beats, I was a big
Who
fan.
came up with the name?
Betty, because she called me Missed Beats, or I don't know, maybe I did. One of us did when we were talking about it.
You said Missed Beats,
and then you called
I kept
it Miss.
Hearing Miss Beats.
Yeah.
I'm like, her name is Miss Beats?
No,
What?
Missed Beats, because
I
I would
said,
always
Miss Beats.
come in late, because then I would get nervous, and Betty would be so in my head. She was living rent free in my head during those segments, and I would just tank. So, all right, well, that's gonna have to do it for your Aftercast for today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.